So we are here talking with Rocío Briceño.
Rocío Briceño.
Rocío Briceño.
Okay, well, welcome to this episode of Agile World. I will be honored to share with you my experience in social impact agile, how to use agile in order to change the world and to improve social impact efforts and projects.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessie Drusen. I am a new co-host with Agile World News. This is my inaugural show, and I'm excited to jump in.
And we're excited to have you. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, welcome to Agile World. Today we are here with a brand new co-host, Jessie Drusen, and an amazing guest who is going to talk about applying agility across the world to improve society and make the world a much better place. So it is right before Christmas, although this won't come out till January, but I think everybody's excited for everything going on right now. And you can see in the background there are Christmas stockings and some beautiful decorations and presents. And I just love this. So Jessie, how the heck are you doing? You getting ready in your new place?
Yes, we're finally settling in. All the cabinets and handles are on the kitchen doors, kitchen cabinet. So that's a win.
So Jessie Drusen just moved to a new place, and she's very excited. And when I asked her to start being a co-host, she was moving in at the same time. She's like, I don't think I'll have time, but luckily she's I was patient, and luckily she came around.
Eventually finish the kitchen.
So we're grateful to have you here. So Jessie, do you want to introduce Rocío?
Yes, of course. So we are here talking with Rocío Briceño.
Rocío Briceño.
Rocío Briceño.
Really good, yeah.
Excellent. She is a happy person who wants to make the world a better place. So that's why we're interviewing her today.
And an amazing agilist. So Rocío, what's going on? How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm amazing in this amazing place. I am happy to be here with you guys and honored to have the opportunity to talk about this journey that we are creating together and how to improve the world using Agile. That is the major motivation that I have pretty much for everything that I have been doing the past, I don't know, maybe 15 years, something like that. Yeah.
Which I love the whole concept. Now, you and I initially met back in February of this year when we were putting on the conference for A20 DMV to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Agile Manifesto in the DC metro area. And Alistair Cockburn said, hey, you guys need to talk to this woman because she is so awesome and so powerful. And what she's doing is amazing. So how did you and Alistair meet and what's up with that? What's going on there?
Well, I think I met Alistair before he met me because I read him in the books,
like We've all read the Agile Manifesto, right?
Yeah. So I knew him before he knew me, but I think he realized about me in Panama in one activity that we were together. And we were talking about using Agile as well in development, in development projects, not software development, but development projects for society. They make a small micro congress called FES, like FES in Spanish. And we start to talk about it. And after that, I as well enrolled myself in the Heart of Agile, and I became part of Heart of Agile movement, actually, an organization. And we will continue working and doing stuff and talking and having synchronization events, but just because it happens. And at some point we were thinking why people doesn't correlate Agile to other kind of opportunities, like for social impact projects, for development, for government. They always tell this is just for technology. So I told him, well, this is your fault. And he said, why? And yes, because you wrote the manifesto in the wrong way, because it says we create software products and blah, blah, blah. So in order to fix that, we have to write a new manifesto. So we did it because he said, oh, okay. So we called several people from other geographies and we like had a gathering by 3 days actually. And we create a small, kind of a small, really tiny, not so complex manifesto for projects in social impact. So after that, that was an amazing experience, I have to say. But after that, I said, like, we have now this, and what we are gonna do with this, you know? So I decided to create like a kind of a movement and enroll people that I know in order to promote that and to share with them and how, and like share as well what is already done in the world, because there are too many things. And I realized that Harvard University Kennedy School has something called adaptive leadership. That is how to use kind of iteration cycles and small gathering, really frequent, with the small leaders that are local for government projects. And I said, like, this is Agile. So they just changed the name. And later on, I realized that UNICEF has other written stuffs about the propose and deliver value. And they say the projects has to deliver value, and the value is the most important thing, not just exactly the plan, and you have to adopt the plan. And I was like, UNICEF is talking about the same. So, but in other words, and they talk about the theory of change. And I said, and I realized that in public policy, they written about that. Later on, I realized that the World Bank has other stuff about water projects, and they say, okay, in these water projects, we empower the people and they take the decisions. And I was like, this is Agile. So they don't talk in that way, but this is like, so I started to collect those sources, and I just put like really, really rough website that is not good at all, but I mean, I needed a place to put everything together. So I create SI Agile, like C Agile, Social Impact Agile, and I just put the information over there. And later on, people from Mexico, Brazil, and I mean, like Washington, DC, and too many other places. It's just like popcorn. Everybody was like involved in this. So now we are still kind of growing as a movement that is organically growing. But now we are social impact agile. Yeah.
Social impact agile, and I love the concept of popcorn popping everywhere, because that is very organic. I don't know if you've ever tried to cook popcorn on the stove. I have. It gets everywhere if you don't.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But I love the concept of, we can apply the same values, the 4 values in the manifesto for agile software development, to everything. Mm-hmm. And we do have to realize that it is not, that those values are not just for software. And as you mentioned, Harvard University for Adaptive Leadership, UNICEF, World Bank, and we're seeing these same concepts can be applied to everything. So let's face it, Agile is not for software anymore. It's for everything. And I love the fact that you brought it to society. So what happened with all of this? There must have been some problem that wasn't being solved by the old methods. And then, so you came to this method and people are embracing this method. Why are they focused on this?
Well, I think it's because as well a generation change, because for the first time in the history, we have like, I say maybe 3 or 4 generations working together, because we have the baby boomers, and we have the Generation X, and we have the Generation Y, and the Generation X, sometimes they call millennials too. And right now we have as well the people that are in their 20s, that are the new generation as well, and we are working together. I mean, for the first time, people are not getting old like they used to do before, and they are not dying as fast as they used to do before, and they don't want to get retired neither. So, and young people, they start working just because they are entrepreneurship and they learn faster in the global communication and internet and all the technology that they have in hand right now. So the world is changing too fast. And that is why organizations has people like 4 generations working together, and they have different ways of working. So I think right now what is happening in multilateral organizations, governments, social institutions, non-governmental organizations, everything that is civil society, is because people are claiming for results and they want to communicate in a different way across all those generations, and that's forced them to become agile because there are no more bureaucratic structure, no more.
I love that concept of multiple generations. And Jesse, did Rocío just call me old?
No, it was not my intention.
Because I'm in that like last generation, that old generation that's now working with young people like the two of you. So
At least you have more of an agile mindset. You have a very strong agile mindset. Bringing that into the future generations.
You're a millennial.
So I love the fact that we could apply the same mindset and values, and the mindset is very similar to a growth mindset. I mean, when we talk about the agile mindset, because it is, we have the fixed mindset, which Carol Dweck wrote about in the book Mindset of, we have our thoughts, and we are born with whatever skills that we have, and that's it. We can't learn new things, or we shouldn't bother learning new things. Then there's the growth mindset that we can learn new things, or maybe we don't know how to do that yet. I love how she adds that little comma at the end of many of those closed statements. But then there's the agile mindset where it's like, whoa, we can do this, but is it the right thing? How can we provide more value? We know we can, because the growth mindset tells us we can learn to do anything. But the agile mindset is how do we apply that to provide more value? I love that. So tell me a little bit about the society and how this, kind of expands. What problems have you guys solved or are working on now?
Well, in my experience, I had the opportunity as well to be called by the Inter-American Development Bank, that is an organization, multilateral organization that works to improve lives in Latin America and the Caribbean. So pretty much they receive money from taxes from 48 countries, and they try to develop and fight against poverty and the major problems of the United Nations objectives in Latin America countries and Caribbean. And they bring me this mission. Well, they brought me this mission like some years ago about like improve their agile methodology. So when I read what they were trying to do was something like hybrid between like regular waterfall stuffs and some combination with Scrum, but like with some mismatches in the middle. So I said like, okay, let's put this into practice. And they put out another name on that because they call that PM4R. And okay. I said like, okay, let's try to organize a little bit the mindset. And I realized in the countries, it was not a mindset because they understand what is it about. They just don't want to do it. So,
they just don't want to?
Yeah. So it's something about attitude. So I remember an experience about the Bahamas where they have the money to do the project. They want to improve like the education in the people that are like coming out from high school, like teenagers, the early 20s, that they just cannot get a job because they don't have the training or the education or the resources to go to the college. So they need that technician level in order to work in the cruise and in the Navy and in some industries, like STEM industries that are engineering and mathematics and those kind of industries, in order to develop the country. But the kids, they just didn't want to join to those programs. And they have the money, they have the infrastructure, they have the programs already set up, but they didn't have the kids. So I was like, what is happening here? So when I realized, I arrived there and I talked to the governmental institution, and I have to like got a meeting with the prime minister that was like really, really important person in the country. And in the universities, I realized they didn't take into account in the whole research the kids. So I said, like, they are the key beneficiary of the program.
They should be.
And you have to consider what are they thinking. I mean, I cannot make the design of the entire program thinking about the population without asking them what they think about it. So we have to go back to the basics. And they say like, oh, do you think, yeah, well, maybe we have to include this kind of people over there in the research. And I was like, yeah. So I realized it's because of it's not because of the mindset, because they said, okay, I have the stakeholders, and they said, check, okay. They have the statistics and the studies, but it's about the face-to-face connection. It's about having an honest conversation and honest communication with the people. And that has to be with the attitude, and it has to be not so theoretical and connecting more from the heart, you know?
You actually have to talk to the people you're providing the services for.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your customers.
Yeah.
Not just read the research, but sit down with them, look at them face to face.
Yeah.
You know, a very big humanitarian thing inside of Agile itself, which makes it perfect for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I have some really good experiences. Well, besides the experience to go to the Bahamas, that is amazing. I mean, but yeah, I have.
Yeah, how do I get a job going to the Bahamas? That's what I want to know. I want somebody to pay me to go there.
Well, I come from Costa Rica, so we don't have anything to miss from that side, because we have amazing beaches over there too.
Okay, so how do I get a job going to Costa Rica?
Well, just arrive there. We have too many things to do over there. Right now, I mean, like in Costa Rica, I'm running for candidate as vice president of the country in a party that is called Liberal Progresista. That is like, I don't know how to translate that in a real way, but it's like progress and freedom. And I am designing the strategy about how to make a transformation in the entire government. We have too many institutions, you know, we have too many institutions to help or to solve the poverty, but we haven't reduced or diminished the percentage of poverty in the last like more than 10 years. So we are not achieving the results. So when I see the numbers, and I am not like going straight to the data all the time, but when you see those numbers, I said like, what an efficient we are. I mean, we have 23 organizations, different institutions, in order to fight against the poverty, and we're spending more money and we have the same percentage of poverty. So we are not achieving the results. So if you go again to the attitude, the mindset, and the Agile way, and you say like, let's say like the heart of Agile that has just 4 words, that is collaborate, improve, reflect, and deliver. Mm-hmm. We are not delivering because we are not reducing the percentage. We are not accomplishing our mission. So what you do in that way? So we make an analysis of these 23 institutions, and we realize they have too many like officers and many people, and they ask one to the other in order to, so they are fighting against one to the other instead of collaborating. So we have to apply Lean, and we go to the Agile methodologies again. To define what?
I'm just curious to know how you've been communicating Agile to people in government who don't really know much about it, and have they been receptive to the idea or the concept? They push back.
They don't know this is Agile, but they understand they are not having results.
Okay.
So, I mean, like when you see that we have 23 organizations working in the same and we are not achieving the objective, that is really clear. You don't have to tell them you are not delivering because in Agile we have to this value. So, and when you realize that you have to check in those 23 organizations what is the value stream mapping that they are following, or the several value stream mappings, you don't tell them, show me your value stream mapping, or I am gonna make the value stream mapping. You tell them, show me the steps you have, or show me the step one person that is in poverty has to pass in order to get the kind of help or solution. So when they see, oh no, we have too many steps, or we have to do this, and they call that bureaucracy. So you realize what are the points that you can cut and apply pretty much Lean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the concepts, and the value stream concept can be applied to everything. And what the value stream is, if we really dumb it down, it is all the steps you have to go through in order to achieve any value, to deliver your product or service, or to achieve your goals. So, and that can always be a huge amount. Now, Rocío, I want to learn more about, you have this compassion for others. You really want to make the world a better place, and I love that. And when Jesse and I met, one of the things that, when we first met, we did meet at a conference face to face, and I realized that she was a person that had a lovely, brilliant mindset. And when I meet you and I talk to you, even though we have not been in the same space because we've only met virtually a couple of times, I feel that same compassion for others, that you have this now. And I love the fact that you see this problem and you want to solve a problem for your country. That's huge. That's beautiful. And I think that's why you should be a politician. I think that's why you should be in office, is because you want to do something good for others, not just, you're not power hungry. You're not doing this for the wrong reasons. You're doing it for the right reasons. But so what happened? When did you decide that this might be the right undertaking? Because that could be a big challenge.
It is a big challenge. And I have too many doubts at the beginning, I have to say, because I am sacrificing personal stuff. I mean, like, I am running for this position. I know I will be making less money than I am making right now. I will be like having less time with my daughter than the time that I have now for her. I will have more complications in my personal communications and public like image than the image that I have now, that pretty much I just have to keep doing what I am doing. And especially the thing that make me think more, the most important thing that make me like wonder is that my marriage, because I really love my husband and I have to be far away from him from time to time, and that is tough, even though he makes me crazy sometimes.
And what would he say?
He says, I will hold your back and you have to do what you have to do because I want you to be happy. And if you think this is important for you, I will be there. So
that is so beautiful, because your cause is noble. and I absolutely love that. So how old is your daughter, and what does your daughter think about this?
Is my daughter from heart, because it's not biologically my daughter.
Okay.
It's my husband's daughter, but she's my daughter because I love her, and love doesn't have like those kind of boundaries. She's 8 and her name is Riley, and she makes me smile all the time.
8 years old is such a fun age. My when we went into the social distancing, my son was 9 at the time, and he's now 11. He's just brilliant, and I realized he is the best stress relief because I come out of my basement office, I go upstairs, I see my son, I make fart noises or funny sounds or dad jokes, and we laugh because he responds immediately, and then I go back to work and I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel happy.
Yes. You know, kids, they are agile by nature.
And Jesse knows a little bit about dealing with kids because it's.
Yes, we have our own little mini agilist in training over here.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yes, and she wants nothing to do with Jesse until Jesse gets on a call with somebody. And I think when Jesse and I get on calls together, I spend more time talking to Aria, her daughter, than I do to Jesse.
He definitely likes to run the conversation.
Oh, you showed me her in one of the phone calls. Now I remember.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember the name. Yeah, I remember right now. I have just the flashbacks. She's beautiful.
She is absolutely beautiful. And she's gorgeous. All right, so I don't want to get deep into politics. I really don't. However, I do want to know. Now you're running for a particular political party because you have to join the party. But what makes your party different with your agile mindset? What is making it different than what's currently happening now?
Okay, the value proposition that make me join this party. Well, first of all, is the situation that has my country that is like in a crisis, the worst crisis like I ever lived before. So we have to do something. But the value proposition that the party has is empowering the people and having like less bureaucratic parts between the people that are receiving the benefits and the people that are like working in the whole change of the benefits. So pretty much that is an agile principle. And the other thing is they don't want just bring the benefits to the people, they want the people to progress. So empowering the people, developing and understanding, learning, trainings, in order to introduce those people to the market again. And because of the coronavirus here, I mean, and the Omicron, and we don't know how many others will come on or when is this nightmare gonna end. We need to solve how to introduce the people to the global markets because people needs to work. They need to put food in their plates for the kids and they need to continue their life in a new, different way, but we need to continue our lives. So we have to bring the people internet and the resources and the tools in order they can continue with their lives in different ways.
Okay, that is. Now you see, now that's a noble cause. That is a noble cause to do something for the people and to smooth things out so you can provide these services to serve the people. I love that. I love that. Um, because government should serve people. Government is paid for by people. Right? So,
And that is customer centricity as well,
yes.
another agile value. The thing is that the customer here is the people.
Absolutely. The customers and stakeholders are king. They should be the ones. That's beautiful. And we often forget that in business as well. So the whole agile concepts of agile value is we want to provide value as soon as possible with the smallest amount of red tape and overhead to the people who are our customers, right? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It seems like such a simple concept when you say it like that.
Simple. I mean, if we connect to each other and we put apart our egos, I mean, it's easy. It's easy just to collaborate, to use the taxes for the good reasons and to help others to raise their own like businesses, small things, or like empreneurships or whatever they dream. Everybody wants to be happy and to shine. We just need to open the doors in order for them to grow. So, I mean,
Prioritizing people over anything else. I'm also curious, how long has the party you joined been in existence?
I think they have like 4 years, something like that. I joined them like some months ago because honestly, I didn't know they were doing this whole movement until they called me and they said, we need you as an agile leader for these efforts. And I was like, who you are and what are you doing? So, yeah.
Oh, that is so beautiful that people are reaching out to you because they're recognizing what you do and how you do it. And I frankly love who you are and I love what you're doing. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now
I
we have
love
been
you.
talking. Yeah, go ahead.
I love you too.
And you are in Alexandria when you're here in the United States, and
Mhm.
you're not in Canada because sometimes you're in Canada, sometimes you're here, sometimes you're in Costa Rica. You're all over the place. You are just a global force for good. I love that. And I also love the fact that you mentioned that we have to set our egos aside
Yeah.
because as we're starting to work with teams and we have to realize we don't have all the answers. Um, and it's a big, big struggle, I think, for many leaders to give up their ego or to give up a little bit of their power and ask questions.
Uh, thanks, Rocio. I am curious to know, how can people get involved in social impact agile?
Well, to get involved in social impact agile, you have to have a cause or an initiative already running. So when you have that, we could start like doing something together. So you could just write, you go to the website siagile.com or cagile.com, and you will find the way to write me to my email, and we will get in contact to help you out in the way that we can.
Now we've been talking for about 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
So I know it goes by so fast because I love listening to what you have to say. So a couple of things I do want to mention is one is all of this information is going to be in our show notes. You will get links to everybody here and to the party and to the campaign. And we're not a political organization, okay? Agile World News, we are a charitable organization. And you know, we don't necessarily back any political party, but we do back the concepts of bringing agility for the good of the people, whether that's your customers or your students or your population
Mhm.
to the world. That's what
Or
we
the
want.
word.
That's right. That's right. And so make sure you subscribe to Agile World News, and so you can find out more. And we're in multiple languages. So one of the things is we may find that we see Rocio in a couple of different languages because she knows like more languages than I do. So I'm very impressed. My wife is fluent in 3 languages. Which is just brilliant, and she can just switch back and forth. It absolutely amazes me. Um, so what would you like to say to the world before we sign off for this podcast?
I will say that find a reason that makes your heart beat faster. I mean, like
Oh,
find something that you love and just do it with all the strength you have, because whatever it is, it will improve the world.
that is very motivational. That is very motivational. And one of the things that somebody told me early on um, was, you know, your passion doesn't have to be your career, okay? But make sure your career allows you to follow your passion.
Yeah.
So, you know, you may decide that my passion is an artist and I can't make any money at being an artist, but I need to find a career to where I can be an artist. And maybe I have to do these other things to do it. But you have found your passion in your career, and that is just beautiful. I love that. I love you. Jesse, I love you.
I love you both. So I am happy to be here, and I'm happy to share these thoughts with the people. And any comment or question, you can find me in all my social media and website under my name, or you could just write Rocío Agile in Google and I will appear as well.
Oh, that is true. That is true. So it is all there. So LinkedIn, type your name in Google, they'll find you. Society Agile. I'm sorry, what was the name of the website?
Social Impact Agile is SI Agile.
SI Agile. Social Impact Agile, because let's bring agility to the world. Jessie, any final words for us?
Final words. I mean, I just want to learn more. Really prompted so many more questions. This has been really wonderful.
That's one of the things I love about Jessie. She's a lifelong learner, just like you and I. So absolutely love it. So thank you, everyone. And this will be coming out in January. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.